destiny to be my wife. And I do promise and covenant to be your loving and faithful husband. For better.
What is up, Phillips gang? So, today's video is about a little secret. My husband and I've been asking on our channel, like, where do you guys think we're going for our 1-year anniversary? Excuse me, I'm drinking wine, girls. If you drink wine, you know how it is. Okay, cheers. My husband and I are going on vacation for our 1-year anniversary of being married, September 17th, so jot it down, okay? But I just wanted to share with you like our love story. I wanted to share some clips and I will implement them so you guys will see. We got married September 17th, 2020. Yes, we got married in a pandemic. It was torturous because we didn't know if we would be able to get married. But my husband and I have been together since September 17th, 2015. So we went to college together. We're college sweethearts, and my husband proposed July 3rd, 2019. So we were together for approximately 4 years when he proposed, and then we got married and we were together for 5 years. So this upcoming September 17th will be our 6-year anniversary of being together and our 1-year anniversary of being married. So I'll implement all these pictures and videos so you guys can see a little backstory of like how we met, our wedding day, the process. But I did want to talk a little bit about the wedding process, because if you girls are getting married, okay, if you're proposed, if you got a ring on your finger, hello girl, you would want to listen a little closely. So the wedding process for me was like the planning process of it, like being engaged. I was like, ooh, I'm on the top of the moon, like give me champagne, like I want a mimosa, like I was like that. And then when it came down to actually planning it, I was like, oh girl, no wonder people have wedding planners. Like, this is a lot of work. So I knew that I'm gonna be honest, I didn't go to that many weddings prior to being engaged. So I was like, I didn't really know how I wanted it to be like I didn't know what type of food I wanted to have, like if I wanted, you know, like I just didn't know. I was still trying to figure it out. And I just remember like saying to my husband, well, my fiance at the time, that I wanted an open bar. Because I mean, who wants to go to a dry wedding? Like, who wants to like be sober and like have to sit through all of that? Like I've been to weddings, hello, and I'm telling you, like, it's not, yeah, it's cute to see the love, but it's like, okay girl, can we get to the food, can we get to the drinks? Like, so I was aware of that, and I was like, okay, this is what I want. So we seen several places, venues, like we did all of that, and so many venues, it was like super expensive because we're in New York City. So hello, you're basically getting married in LA in New York, okay? So I was just like, I'm not paying all that money, and it's like there's no open bar, there's no like food, like I gotta pay, that's extra. So I started to look on an app called Wedding Wire. No, they're not sponsoring me, but they should, okay? And I found so many things that like it wasn't super expensive, but it wasn't inexpensive either. And I found where we got married at, which was Vivo Mediterranean Grill, and it's a restaurant, but They have an outside area. It's in Queens, New York. I'll implement links or pictures so you guys can, you know, see. But I'm not gonna put it on. We found our wedding,
baby. Yes.
When we went, it was so beautiful, and I just was like, baby, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, because what I had in my mind about like how a wedding should be and like what it should look like, I was like, oh, I want a ballroom, like I want, you know, like super crazy things that like, it's like, bitch, that's not gonna really happen. But when we went to Vivo, it was like they had outdoor space, indoor space. It was a ballroom. Then the outdoor was beautiful. It was like so much greenery. It was just gorgeous. Like, it was like a garden, but like it was just, you don't even know. But then when we started to talk about prices, when my husband started to talk about prices, because I was just looking at the aesthetics and I was like, yeah, this is it. But I was just like, this is it. And we went home and we discussed it, and we were just like, yeah, like, you know, it makes the most sense. And everything was included. It was like the open bar was included, the food, and it wasn't like you were standing on an assembly line to get fed. Like, no, it was like you were being served. Like, someone will come to your table like, ma'am, mister, like, what do you want? Do you want cognac? Like, you know, it was like super elegant, and I knew that's what I wanted for my wedding, so that's what we went with. I will get into the financial part of it in a second, but I will let you guys on it in a little tea. Like, our wedding came up to, I would say, $35,000 to $40,000, and we had 100 people there. We didn't plan to have 100 people there, okay? We planned to have 85, but 100 people showed up, okay? And we still had to fit that bill. So, I will just say that getting married, you have to, if you can stay in the honeymoon stage, not the honeymoon stage, but if you can stay in like, I'm engaged, I'm so happy, like, if you can stay in that stage, please do. Because when we started planning the wedding, I was just like, this is so overwhelming. And then like put a pandemic on top of that, and I was like, we're not gonna be able to get married. Like, I'm over it. Let's just go to the justice of peace. Like, I'm just over it. And my husband, thank God for him, like, he was always like, no babe, like, this is what you want, like, we're gonna make it happen. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe it. I was like, yeah, we're in a pandemic, like, everything's closed down, like, how are we getting married? But we made it happen, and through God and through like the government of New York State, like, things started to open up, and I was like, okay, this really can happen. And it was just so nice to see, to be honest with you. Like, I've been to a lot of weddings, but like, not to toot my own horn, but my wedding was like the best. Okay. So let's get into the financial aspect of it. So the venue came up to a good $15,000. No, I'm not saying that wrong. $15,000. And flowers, I would say, was the next heavy expense. Flowers came to like $5,000. I do have a spreadsheet of all of this, but like, I'm not looking at that right now because, you know, I'm trying to live my life and I don't want to whatever. But the venue came up to $15,000 approximately, and then the flowers, the floral arrangements came up to about $5,000. My husband and I did have a flower wall for the ceremony. The flower wall was made of fake flowers because that lessens the expense, number one. And also I have seasonal allergies, so with flowers and pollen and trees and all of that, I tend to sneeze and, you know, not look attractive. So I was like, I don't want to do that, like, you know, as I'm saying I do. So we settled on fake flowers. Then we had the high centerpieces. So again, I've been to several weddings, and no shade to them, but I knew I wanted high centerpieces. I didn't want like the little, like, you know, you're taking like the little floral box where you're taking to someone when they're sick. Like, I wanted like dramatic, like that's what I wanted. And I'll implement a picture so you guys can see. But we went with that, so that made the costs go up. And my husband was a great sport about this. He was like, babe, whatever you want. And I was like, okay, you sure? Because I'm not gonna hold back. But we had that, and then we had rose petals down the aisle. Like, we have the little white, what is it called? Like the little white runner. Like when I'm walking down the little white thing. Then we had rose petals along that. That was an expense. That wasn't that expensive though. But then the, what is it? The little flowers to put on the men. That wasn't expensive either. But the, what is it called? The bouquets. For my bouquet alone was like probably like $400 or $500. And then the bridesmaid bouquets was a little less, and like it was more inexpensive. And it was probably like $200, $300 all out of our pocket. And yeah, that's the floral situation. And then I'm trying to think what's the most other expensive thing. My dress. I got my dress from Kleinfeld Bridal. So if you don't know, that's a really luxurious like bridal place in New York City. My dress was $24.50, I like to say, not including the alterations. So the alterations came up to $1,000. Initially I wanted to get 2 dresses, and I didn't because the expense needed to be spent somewhere else. But yeah, my dress was luxurious. I'll post a picture up there so you guys can see it. I'm trying to think what else. My husband got his suit from the Black Tux. That's based in New York City. And his suit was inexpensive too. I think the biggest expense, if I had to be honest, it was the venue. But we had an amazing time. Like, it was unlimited drinks, open bar. Like, who wants to go to a dry wedding? I don't. But it was just so nice. And then the food was phenomenal. Like, my favorite part of planning was going to the tasting for the food. It was like, we had free wine, like wines that pairs with the food, and like figuring out like what foods we want. Like, it was just phenomenal. But I'll implement all of that so you guys can see it. So my husband and I, we got married September 17th, 2020. Yes, we got married in a pandemic, and our 1-year anniversary is coming up this year, and we will be going on vacation. We will be in one of our dream location spots to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, and I cannot wait. And I'm interested to know, like, what do you got? Where do you guys think we're going? The next video, probably I'll let you guys know. But we are going out of the country, like out of the country, like far away. Okay. So just comment down below, like, where do you think we're going? Excuse me. We will definitely vlog so you guys can see where we are. We'll take you along for the journey, but as always, that's our wedding story. I should have implemented all of the pictures, the videos that you guys need to see to have an idea of how our wedding situation went. We did have a photo booth for our wedding. That was inexpensive, I think like $500. We had a photographer. That was not inexpensive. That was about $3,000. But we did get an engagement photo shoot from the photographer as well, because he was going to be our wedding, the day of our wedding photographer. But all of that will be implemented. You'll see little pictures up here, hopefully. And we had a grand time. If there's any questions, if you are getting married and you feel, you know, like, oh my God, how can I do this in a pandemic? Please don't hesitate to comment. You know, I will implement our Instagram if you want to like have a more detailed conversation. But yeah, my husband and I, we got married September 17th, 2020. So we were in a pandemic. We still are in a pandemic. So it was not an easy planning process, but we did it. And here is to 1 year. Thank you for watching, Phillips gang, and we will hit you in a new video real soon.